Recipe for a diet disaster, but our own nutrition expert Natalie says that's not necessarily true. She's here with some surprisingly good for you foods. Right now, you would think if you're going to eat, chicken with fat and eggs and all that stuff, it may not be that good for you.
Well, there's a few ways that you can make the things a little bit healthier, and some of them you might have thought weren't that healthy are actually not so bad. For example, the cream corn that we have, at the end you hear cream, and if you've been paying attention, you've been listening to people talking about, well, you want to avoid creamed foods, they're not good for you. But there's actually not cream in the creamed corn.
Really?
So yeah, it's just the corn products that they kind of add back as a little bit of starch to it. So actually it's got the same calories, same fat for the most part as if you were to buy canned.
The whole kernel.
Right, the whole kernel. Now, one thing you do want to be careful of, though, is the sodium. So any kind of time you get canned vegetables, there's going to be a lot of sodium. And this particular brand is a low sodium cream corn, so it's got even less sodium than the regular canned stuff.
So it's not necessarily the cream that you have to watch out for, but you got to look back of the can, look at the sodium content.
Exactly. Anytime that you're buying any canned vegetables, canned anything really, you want to look at the sodium content. But as far as the fat and calories go ahead and eat the creamed corn because it's just as good for you as the regular kernel corn.
Great. All right. Now eggs. I'm a big egg eater. I have to have eggs, every morning, or my day just doesn't start out right.
Right, and eggs is one of those things where it's been back and forth. They said they were bad for you, and then they're good for you, and then they're bad for you. What's the deal? Really, eggs are actually a healthy thing that you can eat. The concern used to be the cholesterol, because the egg yolk has a lot of cholesterol in it. But it's actually not cholesterol. This seems kind of confusing at first. It's not actually cholesterol that you eat that's bad for your cholesterol in your body. It's saturated fat that gets converted to cholesterol. So you're actually all right eating a couple of eggs here and there. And the yolk is actually very healthy for you. It's got omega-3s, which are good for brain development and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so many good vitamins in eggs, right?
Exactly. And the protein, I mean, you can't beat the protein, especially in the egg white. So there's about 75 calories in one egg if you eat the whole yolk. So it's not too bad, 5 grams of fat. If you don't eat the yolk at all, you cut that considerably. I think it's about 25 calories for the egg white itself.
Perfect. And the chicken. I mean, you got to watch out for the skin, right?
Exactly. So chicken breast is what we always talk about as being the healthiest part of the chicken to eat. But you can actually be all right if you eat some of the darker meat. If you take off the skin, which is important to do because the skin has a lot of fat and is not good for you, and if you cut off any extra fat that's laying around. Otherwise, you can eat the dark meat. It's okay, and it's actually got more iron in it than the white meat, and it's got a little bit more nutritional value in some ways. So. And
I always go for the boneless, skinless. Is that the way to go to spend that extra money, or because I noticed the stuff with the bones and the skin is obviously a lot cheaper, but you have to kind of do some work.
Right. So it's probably a little bit healthier to go with the breast, but in these tough economic times, things cost a little bit more. You can do all right if you go.
Do your own work.
Do your own work. Take off the skin, cut off some of the fat, eat the dark meat. You're going to be all right. You'll save a few bucks too.
Okay. All right. We've got a couple minutes. Tenderloin. A lot of people think, maybe not the healthiest of foods, red meat. It's, could be fatty.
Yeah. You want to limit your red meat to, twice a week or so overall. But if you're going to go with the red meat, and it's okay to go with the red meat sometimes, you want to pick the cuts that are the leanest. So if you go with a loin or a round, so when you're purchasing the red meat, pork or beef, you want to pick out loin or round. Those are the leanest cuts that are going to be the best.
Loin or round?
Loin
okay.
or round.
I'll remember.
And then I add a little bit of fresh broccoli here to this just to show a balanced diet. You can eat all the things that you love to eat. Just try to get in some of the really well-known, nutrient-dense, low-calorie things with it.
Yeah, and we talk about the difference between fresh vegetables and frozen vegetables. Fresh, obviously the best because you're going to get the most nutrients, right?
Not necessarily, because what they tend to do, and you can read on this bag, it says frozen fresh. The frozen vegetables, frozen fruits, they actually pick them ripe and freeze them immediately. So the nutritional value is the same as if you buy it fresh. Now it tastes a little bit different, but the nutrition is the same. So you're, again, trying to save a few dollars here and there. If you want to buy something, maybe you should look if it's too expensive fresh, look in the frozen food section. You might find it for a little bit cheaper, and the nutritional value is identical.
And everybody trying to save a little money these days.
Exactly.
So if you could buy frozen, you get the same nutrients.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the fresh, or the frozen berries.
Yep, same idea. So you're getting all the same nutritional value as you would get buying it fresh. You just buy it frozen, might save a few dollars here and there. And if you want to make a smoothie or something like that, it's easier just to get the frozen version and throw it in the blender.
Gotcha. All right, some great advice. Natalie, thank you very much for coming in again.
My pleasure.
It's been a while since you've come in. We're happy to have you back.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back.
All right.
Definitely.
And for more information, you can just go to our website, san diego6.com, and you can go to the American Council on Exercise, acefitness.org, to get more tips. Well, spicy and sweet make a great combination at Isabel's Cantina. She'll share the secret ingredient in her chocolate chipotle tamales. That's when SDL comes right back.